I think it was probably about the 6th or 7th session. Rachel goes to me, so, you know, what's changed, you know? And I was like, I said, you know what I've really found this week? It was like, you know, when I see people like go for a walk along, look at the sunset, or, you know, go bird watching or stuff like that. I used to think, who could be bothered doing that? I said, what a waste of time, right? But it was about the 6th session. I was like, I actually looked outside and I looked at a tree and I was like, oh, that's nice. You know what I mean? And I never really pictured that. I never really thought of it being a big thing, but because I was in a good place, I actually acknowledged the things around me, and it brought joy to me, instead of just being, oh, it's only a sunset. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? You know. And I thought that was a big turning point as well. So before I come in, I was nervous, anxious, stressed. I wouldn't say depressed, but I was definitely massively anxious about everything I'd done. You know, I'd turn to other things to try to make the anxious and all this bad stuff go away, but it was making me worse. It was like you'd rock up to work and the smallest little details, or if someone said something that you're wrong, you get angry. And even like my son plays like soccer, and even in his games and that, you'd get angry and you'd stress out, why'd you do this, why'd you do that? And it just affected everything. It affected the way you looked at things, decision making, even the way you handled yourself, even the way you spoke to other people. Because you might be angry about that issue, but you take it out on other people. So that was, it's tough. It's tough when you've got it that bad. So the way you're thinking and the way you see things wasn't particularly the right way. It was just the way you were feeling. You just come across and, you know, yelled at them and stuff like that because you're just being that negative, angry person. You weren't seeing the positives or the good things. The first session was very, you know, like after you do the questionnaire and, you know, the whole lot, you know, it was very chilled, very relaxed. You know, like when you enter, you get all nervous and you got a bit of butterflies and stuff like that. But then you just chill out and you just get taken away wherever you wanted to go. I don't think the first time I fell asleep, but it was very like silent. Like it was really calming, which was good. It was really good. You know, and then when they asked you the questions, what did you feel like during or the thing? It was like, I had muscle twitches, I had the whole works, you know. You know, it was like you were dreaming and then you'd wake up, but you would like, did that just happen? Like, it's a really good and exciting feeling. It was probably after the 3rd or 4th that I really started to feel, hey, you know, like I was doing 2 times a week. And yeah, it was a big, it felt big, do you know what I mean? So the changes was massive. And it would even like, you'd get home and they'd say, how'd you go? Like your friends and family would like, how'd you go? And you'd be like, yeah, like good, like really good. And I was trying to explain to them what it was about. And it's hard to explain unless you've come, you know, or you've had the same issues that I had. So, you know, everyone's going to be different, you know, so it's just really, it was really noticeable probably around the 3rd or 4th. But then once I'd done like, I think mine was like 12 weeks or something like that. Yeah, at the end it was just you're expecting to come here to get that feeling every time, and every time it was slightly different. Every time was slightly different, and the way you'd handle yourself throughout the week would be slightly different. And like now that I haven't had a session for, you know, probably a month or something, maybe more, your life is just different. So it's just a different feeling altogether. You know what I mean? I mean, I do the home maintenance program, like every night I listen to that. And every morning you just wake up and it's like, you just weight lifted off your shoulders. Like you don't get stressed, you don't get angry, everything's just better. Because even throughout the day, if you feel that you've done something, that you felt an emotion that you don't normally have, you just go through the playlist and you just say, oh, I might listen to that tonight. So then you just put it in your playlist, and apart from your home maintenance, then you add in, maybe a bit of anxiety that week, and so you listen to that, and it's just really good, because however you're feeling, you can just resort to that and listen to it, instead of having to wait and come in here or try to speak to people about it. It's just great. Like every night you can just reset button, basically. Being a single parent, with a teenager now, you just can relate to them more. Instead of just telling them always, you sort of start wanting to teach them instead of just telling them, and even, with the sport and schoolwork and everyday things in life, like cleaning your room, helping with the chores, stuff like that, you don't yell at them anymore. It's sort of like you just sort of, mate, you're gonna have to do this one day. It's better start now. I'll help you, or I'll do it with you. And before you'd be like, go hurry up and do that. And now you just, So he's really responded well to, he said, Dad, you're different. And I was like, but it's he's happier. Even with sport, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that anxiety or stress before the game that he's got to impress Dad, or I just say to him now, you know what you got to do. You've been doing it for a long time. Just keep working at it and pushing forward. Because I've done a lot of the programs, right? I've done the confidence one. I've done the whole anxiety. I've done the drug one, and it was, it just changes everything. Like everything changes in your life. It's amazing, because you don't see it. You don't realise now how much has made a difference in the past. Because it's been a while since you lived like that, and now you think, how did I live like that? How did I cope? And even when people used to say to you, like, what's wrong with you? You just be like, well, what's wrong with you? Because you don't see it. You don't see how you're acting or how you're feeling. But nowadays, you actually say to that person, how are you feeling? Like, is there anything I can help you with? Because it's not that you're emotional or anything like that. You literally just want to help someone. And I was speaking to a friend the other night, and she was saying she would pay anything for her mental health. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite true. Now it's quite true. No one really talks about it that much, but it does affect a lot of things. Like even going to the gym and things like that. People say, I'll go to the gym or go for a walk, you'll feel better. I'd be like, I can't be bothered. I'm not going, And then you go, and then you feel a little bit better, but then you miss the next night, and you're like, oh, what's the point of me going? So then you stop. But when you're feeling good, you go and you're happy, and everything just flows. It's not an effort to go to someone like a gym or things like that. Now, after I'm doing it, I'm more humble, not anxious, don't get angry, less stressed. I work at a better consistency. Talking to people, my body language towards other people. Like people said I was a bit arrogant, and I'll be like, no, I'm not a complete opposite of that. But that's what I was coming across to people. He's very arrogant, you can't talk to him, and stuff like that. Now, I feel like, people talk to me, even as far as going on dates and stuff like that. I'd get nervous and pull out last minute. But now you just sort of, okay, no worries, I'll go. I'm happy and I'm thankful that I've done it all. There's still things that I would have liked to be better, but there's other things that I never knew I really had that I felt that is fixed. You know what I mean? So he come here for one thing, and it's probably helped me to a certain extent, but something else that I didn't know I thought of existed, fixed. So yeah, everyone's different, but for me, it's, yeah, I recommend it to, like I tell people, I was like, just go, just try it. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it, you know. But just to see, you know, if you're in a bad way or in a bad shape, there's a better pathway, you could say. You know, you think you're living in a rut, you probably are. You know what I mean? So just look for that option. And to me, this was a good option. It was a very good option. You know, you went to psychologists and stuff like that, and did nothing. Like, I was literally like wasting my time and money. So then just stopped going. But this one here, like, I never missed an appointment. I always wanted to come. You know, so even now doing the home maintenance, the online one, is great. Like, I really I recommend it if you're in a position where you think that you should be achieving more and you're unhappy with the way you are, right? Just try it. You know what I mean? I say it to everyone, just give it a go. If it does nothing, don't go back. But yeah, I think it's really good. Even living a healthier lifestyle, right? And you need to do it. Like, you really need to look after yourself mentally, even physically. You know, I am very conscious about it now. So even if, you know, when I do start to get a bit of anxiety kicking in or stuff like that, you know, I really go back and think, well, hold on a minute, wait a minute. Why are you feeling like this? Work it out and move forward. And I think that's the best way. I really am conscious about it now, and it does, you know, come across in my mind that when things aren't going good or you get those little niggles or something, yeah, you address it. You know, you do your breathing, you a few deep breaths in and out, you take a walk or something, and it's gone. But if you don't do that, well, it's not good. I just don't, like, everything that I've done or everything that I've done in the past doesn't really touch on this. You know, you can talk to people and you can do, you know, whatever, you know, go to rehab and things like that. And I just felt I haven't relapsed as much as I've done in the past. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just think it's more of a success than other things. I mean, for me, you know, yeah, I just feel that I've achieved a lot by coming here than I would have gone somewhere else. You know, from what I needed. I mean, I'm not that. Like, I didn't consider myself as really bad, but I had to change my lifestyle. So I think that it worked out quite well.